they're good looking. Listen, if you want to get the heart rate up while also conditioning and strengthening your muscles, this is the workout for you. And if you're part of the 12 days of Christmas, welcome to day one. Now listen, you don't need a lot of equipment for this workout. I would love for you to grab one pair of heavy dumbbells for legs and chest presses and rows. For reference, I'm using a pair of 15s. One lighter dumbbell, so for reference I'm using a 10, and that's something that you can press above the head. And then I'm going to introduce a series of moves through these 12 days called pre-hab exercises, and I'll talk to you about what the heck those are. But for our pre-hab exercise today, you'll need one light dumbbell. I'm using a 5-pound dumbbell. All right, let's go get started. Hello there and welcome. If you're unfamiliar with me, my name is PJ Wren and I've been a certified personal trainer for close to 3 decades, focusing on women over the age of 40. And it's pretty damn awesome to have you here. All right, as we warm up, I'll chat about the workout and what this pre-hab move is all about. And yes, and welcome to my challengers too. 12 days of Christmas, woo! Let's do this. All right, let's get the left knee on the ground. Extend the right leg straight out. You want that inside of the foot on the ground. Hands slightly in front and then rock forward and back. You're gonna feel this into that right side groin area. So we have a strength and conditioning workout today, and it's going to be, if you're familiar with my workouts, it's basically a metabolic conditioning workout. So it's a really great way to get the heart rate up, work on strengthening the muscles, as well as get a good calorie burn. Last 2, one more. All right, now take this leg that's straight out, bring it in front. You got that? Bring this hand down. So right arm's gonna come forearm to ground as best you can, and then rotate and take a look at the fingers right up to the ceiling. Let's do that again. Forearm to ground, rotate. So you might have to come on the outside edge of that right foot a bit to get that forearm down. What we're doing here is trying to encourage some T-spine rotation into that mid-back area, and you'll also feel it in the groin again. Last 2. One more. Good job. Let's do the other side. Here we go. Right knee on the ground, left leg extends, hands in front, and rock forward and back. So if you're doing this workout in real time, 12 days of Christmas, this is day 1. Hopefully you signed up. If you didn't, well, the workouts will arrive on YouTube, but those that are a part of the challenge, they get the direct links emailed to them every day. Last 2. One more. Good job. Now take this left leg, you're going to step it in front. I'm going to go this direction so you can see me. All right, now let's take that left forearm to ground and then rotate. And I really want you to move through the head as well. You're taking a look at where that hand is going. Yes, if you think I'm sounding a little congested, you are correct. For the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a cold. True story. I've been struggling for over a week now. Last one. Excellent. Come on up. Here we go. Feet shoulder width apart. Oh my goodness, my mat is off center. Yeah, you guys know I don't like that. Feet apart, toes slightly turned out, hands light behind the ears. Let's go down into a squat, warming further into those knees and hips. Yes, so loving husband and I have had a cold for about a week and a half now. What happened to the good old days when a cold was gone in like 3 or 4 days? Try to sink down here. We really do want to lubricate those knee joints and hip joints. And again, it's a hip hinge. Almost pretend that you've got a chair behind you. And then a secondary great cue for your squat pattern is pretend you keep squatting, pretend you're on newspaper and you're trying to pull the newspaper apart. And that's going to give you a nice activation of that outer hip muscle so the knees track in the right direction. Last 2. And 1. All right, so feet are now hip width. Let's soften the knees, hinge forward and up. So we've got a nice neutral spine. Learning that hip hinge pattern. I'm going to teach you a suitcase deadlift today. So we need to really make sure that we know how to hip hinge here and we don't do the deadlift through the waist. Last 2. One more. Good job. Feet together, take it into a side lunge for me. Keep yourself square to me. Push your seat rear so you can touch your toe. Let's do the other side. Good. So we have 5 exercises, 4 rounds. Don't you go. You're going to love it. 40 seconds on the clock. Anytime, again, you can take a break, right? And grab some water. Just don't leave me. I'm needy like that. All right, let's do one more each side. Other side. And shake it out. So, speaking of water, if you want one, grab it now. If I'm sniffling through the workout, my apologies. All right. We have a squat and pulse. So this is where you will want that heavier dumbbell. We're going to hold it goblet style, feet shoulder width apart or slightly wider if that's more comfortable for the hips. You take it to a squat, you pulse it for 2, and then you drive up. All right, you ready? Of course you are. All right, let's get the dumbbell close to the body. Here we go, sink down, pulse it, and drive up. So an easy way to modify this move is to get rid of the dumbbell or go lighter weight. But I do want you to see if you can work on the depth of the squat. So if that does mean getting rid of the weight, then let's do that. We need to keep those knees bending to keep them happy. I'm already out of breath. It's because I can't breathe through my nose. Oh, don't feel sorry for me. I feel okay. I sound worse than I feel. One more. All right, grab the partner to that dumbbell, bending the legs to get there. We're going to that hip hinge. So hip hinge for me, arms straight. Now bring both elbows up and let's keep them there. Now in this position, lower your left arm only, then the right arm. Now both at the same time. So it's single, single, double. Yeah? Okay. Now make sure you have that hip hinge. If you start to feel your low back, there's no doubt the low back muscles are working, but there shouldn't be any pain. So readjust. Make sure that neck's in line with the spine. Last row, and release. All right, so we need to work the opposing muscle. So now we need to work our chest, shoulders, front of the shoulders, and triceps. So let's get down to a chest press position. So in a bridge, okay, elbows slightly ahead of the shoulders, and then let's have the arms elevated. Similar to what we did with the row, let's drop the left arm only, then the right, and then both. So again, single, single, double, while we hold this bridge pattern with the heels close to the bum to fire up into the glutes, hamstrings, and a bit of low back. Now we're standing for the next exercise, and this is where I'm going to ask you to grab that moderate weight. So for me, I'm going to grab a 10. Time. All right. So there'll be a modification. You'll see an alternative up in the screen there, but it's essentially you won't do the jumping. Have the dumbbell in front of you. Get into a squat, squat, jump it, clean and press it, bring it down, squat back. So let's try it. Here we go. Squat, jump it to me, clean press, down and back. So make sure you're bending your legs, not your back, to get that dumbbell, okay? And then you're going to kind of stay in that squat position for a little longer as we go forward and back. Or you'll do a squat and alternating clean and press. Again, use the legs, not your back. Let's finish it. Time. All right, let's put that one away. Grab the heavies. One in each hand. Suitcase deadlift. So it's kind of essentially what the name says. It's like you're holding on to 2 suitcases. Now soften the knees just like we did in warm-up. Push the bum back for your deadlift. Drive up. Now let's add a calf raise. Good. So heels come up off the ground. Let's do that again. And calf raise. Beautiful. So it's that hip hinge, knees soft, neck long, and then come all the way up, find your balance, and come up off of your heels. So guess what? This is round 1. I know. Pretty fun, right? 10 more seconds. We're going to take it back to the top for round 2. Finish it. Time. All right. Weighted squat and pulse. Now, if you have tight hips, you may need to go a little wider, but the wider you go, you also need to remember to turn the toes out a bit. You want those knees and toes tracking. All right, squat down low. Give me 2 pulse. Good. Now, when you squat down low, make sure you're not rounding that upper back. I see that a lot. All right, so get out of that hunchback position. Lift the chest up. Pull the shoulder blades together. Turn your gaze. Preferably if you've got a wall and a ceiling close by, you want to take a look where the wall and ceiling meet throughout the rep. Of course you have a wall and ceiling. Well, no, you could be doing this outside. All right, row, hold, single, single, double. So grab your other dumbbell by using your legs, not your back. Set up, feet hip width, hip hinge, bring the elbows up. Good. It's single, single, double. Whew. So this way we have constant tension in your biceps, lats, and mid-back muscles by keeping those elbows up. Remember that neutral spine, and don't let that head go either. Okay, your neck is still part of that spine of yours. Last few reps, and then we're moving down onto the mat to work the opposing muscles, our chest and triceps. Time. All right, so take her down. Elbows slightly in front of the shoulders. Let's do that hip bridge first. So feet hip width and close to the bum. Lift up. Now bring the arms up and let's hold them up there. Now single, single, double. And you got to kind of think too, don't you? Because you want both arms to do the move. So you really got to focus on the movement, not on your grocery list or whatever the heck you got to do later on after your workout. So changing up the moves, giving you something to think about, adding some coordination to the workout is actually really good for the brain. And I don't know about you, but I need all the help I can get. Come on up. All right, we're gonna do that jump squat, clean and press. So I'm using the 10. I'm gonna place it just ahead of me. The jump squat is optional. If you're doing the jump squat, you wanna be about a mat width away, all right? And then give yourself a good up, press it, and back. Land soft with your jumping. What's that saying? Of all the things I've lost, I miss my mind the most. Yeah. Ain't that the truth when you're in your 50s? Whew. This is such a good quad burn. It's going to give us the conditioning part of the strength workout too by getting that heart rate of yours up. One more. Finish it. Finish it. Good job, you. All right, suitcase deadlift. So feet hip width, all right, hip hinge, and then drive up off the heels. So it's just like you're holding on to 2 suitcases. They're hanging down by your side. However, that does also mean that you need to use your mid-back muscles. So we're not rounding the back. This is the first workout I've done in a week and a half. It feels good. I'm really grateful for you guys. I might have just said, nah, I don't feel like working out. But I knew I had to do this for our series that we were releasing. So thank you. Thank you for being there and for motivating me. One more. Time. All right, round 3, okay? Weighted squat and pulse. Between the two communities, Over 50 Fitness and Patreon, I have the best peeps, the best women ever. Ready? And take it down. Pulse it for 2. Remember, don't round the upper back on this one. It's really easy to do so because that dumbbell's in front. If you need a break, by all means, just keep the feet moving because the heart rate is up there. Grab a quick sip and then join us, okay? Join us right away. Don't recover too much. One more squat. And time. All right, row holds. So, feet hip width. All right, hip hinge. That's so important. Bring the elbows up and let's keep them there. Let's tuck them in. And now single, single, breathe, double. So go slow enough so your breath comes with each rep. We're not rushing this. You should be lifting a weight that's challenging enough that you do have to take it a little slow. And again, we're putting that mind into the workout by playing around with our reps and where the elbow's being held. Last row. Release. All right, take it down, chest press. So same thing now for the pecs and triceps. Feet hip width, close to the hips. Lift the glutes without flaring that rib cage. So just squeeze into the booty. Bring the arms up and let's go single. And then double. Nice, easy tempo. We're standing for the next exercise. Time. All right. So this is where we grab the lighter one. You might not need the lighter one, right? Or, play around with it. What's going to challenge you? You want to have it at least mat width away. It's really easy for me to say. And here we go. So jump it forward. And then back. And again, the jump is optional. And so is the clean and press. Perhaps you got shoulder issues and you're just going to here and then back. I know sorry, that was super useful to tell you 3rd round in. My bad. I'm getting coal in my stocking, I know it. Last squat. Woo! All right, suitcase deadlift, 2 calf raise. Here we go. Feet are what? Hip width, you got it. Abs are what? Drawn in. Here we go. Shoulders back and down. Deadlift, heel raise. Nearing the end of round 3. We're moving into final round after this, okay? Whew. I like doing these Metcons where you combine your cardio and the strength, especially for the first day of challenges. Just gets the mindset, gets our minds in the right place. Finish it. Time. All right, weighted squat and pulse. So feet are as wide as they feel best for you. Just remember to keep that upper back pulled. Here we go. Ready? Pulse it for 2. Push through the heels, drive up. I actually rewrote this workout 3 times. And I'm going to be honest with you, I've already filmed it once, and I didn't like the flow of it. So I trashed it. We worked it, and here we are. Much happier with this. Let's do one more squat. All right, row holds. Not every workout can be totally flowy because we do need up and down just to make sure we hit all the muscles, but I try to make it as flowy as possible. Here we go, hip width, ready, elbows up, and single, single, double. I think of you in my training studio, and you're my client. And what's going to put a smile on your face and get you to your goals in a workout that is challenging, but you can maintain it. That's how I do my workouts for you. Last one, come on. Single, single, finish the double. Woo! All right, take it down. Chest press holds. Whew. If you're a part of Patreon, I did do a video. You can find it in Patreon. Lift the hips up, arms up, single, single, double. Of the whole backstory of how I actually do develop your workouts. I also have another one on how I come up with the workout to begin with and take you onto my YouTube dashboard. You'll find that under Patreon how-to tag. Whew. If you like to nerd out on that kind of stuff. I know I do, but it's because I'm in the industry. You probably are thinking, no, I just want a good workout, PJ, that's all. I don't care about the nuts and bolts. Fair enough. Time. Woo! All right. Jump squat, optional. Squat press. Here we go. So get that dumbbell. Place it just in front of you. Sink down, land soft if you're joining me with the jump. And remember that very first round where I was cueing you. Use your legs. So as you do the press, that's when you'll come out of the squat. Let's see if we can get one more in, you guys. Come on. All right, good job. Okay, final move. Suitcase deadlift to calf raise. Feet hip width. Softness in those knees. Push your booty rearward like you're trying to touch the wall behind you. Come all the way up. Heel raise. Give me a little extra pinch in those shoulder blades. Sometimes we forget about that upper back, like I mentioned during our squats. So let's maintain that posture so we strengthen our body in good posture instead of feed into that bad posture. And we did it. Good job, you. Dumbbells down, march it out. Grab a sip of water if you need it. Whew. So, we're gonna let the heart rate come down just a tad. I mentioned in the intro that we're gonna do what's called pre-hab moves if you've joined me for the full 12 days of Christmas. What we mean by pre-hab in the industry are exercises that will help strengthen common areas that can get injured and send us to rehab. So we want to pre-hab them before we get to rehab. So today we're going to focus on the forearm extensors Because as you see with my forearm brace, it's something that we struggle with whenever we grip dumbbells. When we grip onto dumbbells or TRX or tubing, or I've actually even gotten tennis elbow painting, anything that we grip, we're really overworking the flexors of the forearm. And these little guys, the extensors, get overworked because they're not strong enough. So it creates pain on the outer elbow, creating tennis elbow. I have struggled really hard with this, and I've done multiple different types of physios and therapies and injections to try to get it back. Still not there, as you can see. But this pre-hab move I've introduced into my regular routine since I've started being able to do it probably about a month ago pain-free. So I'm going to take this off. If you wear one of these, take it off as well. Grab your light dumbbell. Again, for reference, I'm using a 5. Okay. Now you want to come onto the left front foot. Your back knee's on the ground. Now, if that's uncomfortable for you, double up your mat, put a pillow in, do what's going to work for you. Now, I want this forearm to rest right on top of the center of your thigh, but I want you to be able to drop that hand down. Now, here's the key. Forearm extensors. You want to try and lead with the pinky. What's going to happen is your thumb's going to come up first. I want you to see if you can keep your knuckles even by leading with the pinky. Okay? All right, let's give it a try. You got 12 reps. 1, 2, 3. So that index finger or pointer finger is going to come up a little higher, but again, do your best to try to keep the knuckles even. We've got 2 rounds of 12 reps each side. Last 2. 1 more. Excellent. Other side. So let that forearm rest right center of the leg. Let that hand just drape right over your thigh. Now, trying to keep the knuckles even, lift up. This will also help strengthen if you've ever broken the wrist. I know there are a few in my osteoporosis community actually that have broken their wrists due to falls. This will also help strengthen if you have weak wrists when you do push-ups or mountain climbers or straight arm planks. So again, we're working the muscles on the top of the forearm, which tend to be weaker, and they get overused because they just don't have the strength to keep up with those flexors. Woo! Last 2. Good. 1 more. Other side. Now, because we're working strength, we're keeping the rep count lower. Let that hand just drop and then lead again, trying to keep those knuckles even. And my forearm staying on my thigh as I lift my hand up. If this is too much, let go of the dumbbell. When I started this, I actually was holding on to a soup can, so that may be where you're at and progressing up. 2 more. Last one. Good job. So if you find that you do have pain on the outer part of the elbow, this is good for it. The other thing, the other cue I would offer you too that helped me out is instead of grabbing your dumbbells, scoop them. It makes a huge difference if you have, this is again tennis elbow. I'm not as familiar with golfer's elbow, which is on the inside of the elbow. And you don't have to do it by playing tennis or golf. It's just simply an overuse injury. It's a tendonitis. But I found scooping the dumbbells super helpful. It didn't flare up my symptoms or my elbow. And then this exercise, last 2. And release. Woo! All right. Let's stretch into the hip flexors and also get into the forearm extensors. So, left knee on the mat, lunge forward, tuck that left tailbone under. So I really want you to feel that release in the hip and possibly the thigh. Yeah? Perfect. Straighten your left arm, fingertips down to the ground, and then rotate the fingers away from the midline of the body. And you'll get a nice stretch and that forearm extensor that we just worked. Anyways, overuse of the elbow is really common, especially if you're just starting out with dumbbells, because everything is gripping dumbbells, isn't it? Like I said, I also got it while I was painting. And so whenever you're just using those forearm flexors too much, and these guys can't keep up. All right, now let's straighten that front leg, chest over thighs, stretch into the hamstrings here. So each workout, we'll add a new pre-hab move at the end of the workout, and hopefully, give you maybe some areas that you are like, wow, okay, I think I need to focus on this, and give you some ideas on how to. All right, let's get the right knee, left leg out. Lunge forward first. Now tuck the tailbone under. Squeeze that right glute. Okay, that's super important because it's going to help you give you a better release in the hip flexor. Once you've got that, right arm straight, fingertips to the ground, and then rotate the hand away from the midline. Keep the elbow straight on this. Release, straighten that front leg, chest over thigh. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, please click that subscribe and that like button. It does help the video with the YouTube algorithm. It helps YouTube find us, so that would be much appreciated. And if you want to work with me further, there's info down below on how you can join us on Patreon or 14-day trial on Over 50 Fitness. Release. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And for you challengers, we'll see you tomorrow for day 2. Bye.